Okay.
Okay, we're ready?
We
Yeah.
do the...
Welcome to our podcast. This is technically called WoUHE Podcast, Women of UHE. And my name is Madeline. I'm the initiative coordinator of our program, and I work for our esports program. Kelsy.
I'm Kelsy. I did content and Overwatch. Now I'm here.
I'm Jazmin, also helping with content and also a board member.
I'm Alie. I'm the arena operations manager for UHE Sports.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And you're a board member.
And I'm a board member.
These are
I'm
all
a
my
board
Yes.
children.
children.
Today we have Boba with us. Does everyone want to say their Boba order? I'm going to start. I have a roasted oolong milk tea, large, 75% with brown sugar boba.
I got passion fruit and yuzu tea with lychee jelly and less ice. I
So
don't know what
good.
the sweetness is. It's
Yeah,
crossed out.
because remember when I took the order, they didn't. Alie, what's your boba?
Matcha with 75% sweetness. I don't like boba.
Same.
Okay,
Yeah.
next.
My bad.
I've got a coffee smoothie with boba in it. And I was asked the ice level initially when Madeline was taking orders, and I was like, I forget, I don't think smoothies have ice cubes in it, but
Ice cube.
technically they do have thousands of tiny ice cubes.
No, it's because I used to work at Share Tea, so the amount of people that would come in and then be like, oh, can I change the ice level on a ice blended? I'm like, no. And then it just made me sad every time someone asked. But I think it's valid for a smoothie, because smoothies in my brain don't have ice cubes in them, but they do. That's how you make them.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't in my brain.
Well, they have ice, but not ice cubes.
It's like a shaped
How
ice.
is that different?
I don't know. In the brain it
They
makes
don't have
sense.
it. Anyway, now the most important question is out of the way. This is our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have more episodes, I hope.
Oh, God.
if I do my job. Our program is for marginalized genders, but I do want to make sure that we kind of, I don't know, it's for this thing is for anyone. And I think it's nice to have kind of a more casual style conversation, and hopefully, because we are in back to school time, school starts in 2 days. This will probably be out before school, after school starts, so that's not my fault. But I wanted to start with, because we're all not freshmen, preface. So if you went back to your freshman days, when you first started university, what was any advice you would give yourselves? Don't go.
I think getting involved on campus sooner. I know that's so cliche because everybody's like, oh, make friends, do whatever you can, join clubs, but
Yeah, but it's not
genuinely.
easy.
And I think especially for our age group, because of COVID, it was a lot harder. For me, I didn't even get to come onto campus until basically my sophomore year. And freshman year is so important for the developmental stage of just making new friends and transitioning from high school to college. So I think if I would have found UHE Sports sooner, then maybe things would have come into place earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really empathize with that. COVID sucked.
COVID sucked.
Do you have any advice?
It's kind of hard because I entered school with a different major. So I can't just be just don't do that major. I was nursing originally. I am not
Just
that.
know exactly what you want to do
Just
immediately.
I do wish that
You
I
silly goose.
took more time to look into what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Though. Cause I was nursing. I'm gonna learn so much.
You were nursing?
I was nursing.
Whoa. Plot point.
Now I'm art and film. But
Which I love.
Yeah. I mean, even with this major, just learn what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Figure out the teachers also. Find a teacher you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
They're gonna make and break
People
your whole...
don't think about that.
I know.
Because a lot of UH Manoa is kind of common for a lot of people to come and then they leave after a semester. So there's a really high acceptance rate or like people coming in, and then there's a really lower graduation rate because so many people leave in between then
because they don't 5 years.
And they don't think about, oh, is this the right school for me, or is there a program right for me, or stuff like that. But also super valid to, like, most people don't know what their major is, and a lot of people will change their majors like all the time. Like Keelan, who runs our League of Legends team, I found out has changed his major 7 times.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow.
That's insane.
But he's still graduating in like 4 or 5 years, I think. It's a little messed up, but
actually.
I don't know. Everyone's path is so unique and different. And it's really hard for, like, to put that pressure on yourself to be like, oh, I have to graduate in 4 years. I have to have the same major. I have to, like, immediately make friends or stuff like that. And you should put yourself out there because that's the only way that we get involved with stuff. But it's hard to, I'm like ranting now.
No, that's
it's just like, you know, it's complicated, but it's good to get involved with things but not put pressure on yourself. And yeah, because school's scary.
School's scary.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and I think a lot of people, like, especially if you're from the mainland, and a lot of people are from the mainland here.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, because you get a lot of people that are like, oh, especially from California and Colorado,
Yep.
you have the exchange program. So it makes it really affordable.
The West.
Western undergraduate
Exchange. Yeah.
which is in between in-state and out-of-state tuition.
Yeah, they just make it a lot more affordable. So it's very enticing for people from the mainland, from like those states to come here. But also, like, as a freshman, like, if you're from those states, you love everything that Hawaii is, like, ideally, which is surfing and going to the beach and hiking and doing all these things every single day. But when you're actually here and you're living and you're going to school, for the most part, that's not what you're doing.
No.
So I think
it's a time to.
Right. So it's a wake-up call, right? You have all these students that are like, oh, it's really cheap. I can go and then just go to the beach all day. And then when you can't do that, it's kind of like, well, why am I here? I would rather go back home where I do get in-state tuition, and I can do the exact same thing.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't someone who, like, changed majors, but I did come into college, like, not knowing
what you're gonna do.
Anything about what I would do. I knew I didn't want to go into STEM. Like,
that's fair.
Me too, girl.
Like, that was my first thing. Like, okay, maybe I'd have an epiphany, like, halfway through and be like, actually, I really do want to do STEM. But going into it, I was like, I think that's the one filter I can put on my options for the path I want to go down. So in that sense, like, I know a lot of people are in the same shoes where they're like, I don't know what I want to do, but, like, your parents want you to go. You just feel like you should go because all your friends are going and you don't want to be behind. But I would say don't worry if you don't know. And like we were talking about, don't worry about changing, because one inspiring kind of thing I learned throughout college wasn't even through like a class. It's from my student assistant job with a business office for the languages department. I look at people's CVs and their personnel folders. And sometimes I see some people, they were like graduated from the top universities of their country, became professors. They're like highly rated in every experience they have, tons of like papers, lectures they've given, etc. But some people have like large gaps between when they got their initial bachelor's degree and when they got their graduate degree. And I'm like, they didn't give up or like feel like they couldn't come back to school to pursue something they wanted to do. That a lot of people think once you get your degree, that's done. Like, that's what you're set in for life. But that's like totally not the case. Like, all these people like that are working for the university now that I've seen, they changed career paths. Sometimes like they started with they transitioned into this, and then they've made like a successful career path for themselves. So that's one thing I would say is like from seeing this, and also just in classes seeing older classmates that like could be like my parents' ages or older. It's like they also didn't give up or think just because I'm not like in this age group that is a majority of people going into classes right now, that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to, or I can't, even though I'm not in the expected group right now.
That's a really interesting point. I think a lot of my friends that are master's students or are in graduate degrees and stuff like that did take a really big gap. And even like undergrad, there's a lot of adults that are in their 30s or late 20s or even like past that take classes and start doing like another major or go back to school or stuff like that. And luckily UH Manoa supports, I think they do a decent job of supporting like adults coming back to school and stuff like that. What I would say to myself is like always having an open mind and being okay with things being hard sometimes, because university is overwhelming in my opinion. Like finals week is always rough, and it's even worse because everyone is having a rough time. And the energy is just really bad because everyone's stressed, so you feel stressed even if you don't have that much going on. And it's just hard to adapt to because suddenly you're away from home, or your work is more intense, and even if you're still at home with your family, you're kind of in this more independent lifestyle. And there's a lot of people coming from different places with different values, different cultural beliefs, different like ways of growing up, which is completely fine. It's just different. And I think you have to just not be judgmental, and you have to come in and be open to talking to different kinds of people and learning about different things, and especially here on the island, because I didn't grow up here, so I can't just come in and be like, oh, I know exactly what Hawaii is like. I can live here and be the perfect local, because I'm not, and I never will be. So I think a lot more out-of-state people should come into Hawaii and be very accepting of learning the culture, what life is really like here, and not what vacationing is like here. And how you can really support the community, how you can be very respectful of the land and aware of the history that comes with this land. Lots of political stuff, but just being like genuinely a nice person. Like being very caring about other people, because I think there's a lot of stuff that's happened on this island and all of the Hawaii islands, and it's really good to be mindful of that, even if you're not a professional, but always having clear conversations. Yeah. Yay, school's starting though. I was thinking I had a really hard time like figuring out what I would say to myself, because I was like, I don't know, like I feel like there's too many things that I would want to tell myself, but to like warn myself of the future. But it's interesting your experience, because you came into university in the pandemic, and I came into university at the end of the pandemic, basically. Like we still had online classes first semester, but it wasn't like as intense, and people had a really hard time. Especially, I didn't understand why they let people come into dorms to just take class online in the dorm.
Yeah, no, that
you
was
couldn't
wild.
go anywhere.
And then everybody would get sick.
They told me,
Yeah.
because I was taking an ACM class. This is why I say I came here my sophomore year, because I was here my second semester freshman year, but it was because one of my ACM classes was like, oh, we're gonna have some in-person classes.
Yeah, the hybrid thing.
Yeah, so because we have to do like camera work, and you have to do microfilms and short films, so
when ACM
you have to come in and do that. So I flew in, I got a dorm on campus, and all my other classes were online, fully online. And then it ended up being that 2 of our classes for the entire semester were in person, the rest of them were online. So I spent all that money getting here. I risked my own safety. I risked other people's safety, right? Because I didn't want to come here in the middle of a pandemic when they didn't want mainlanders here because it wasn't safe. So, but like, you're already paying for the education. Like, what are you gonna do? They're just gonna kick you out, you know?
Like,
yeah. So
okay.
I come for that, and then they're like, oh, we're only doing 2 classes in person. I spent the rest of my time indoors just playing video games while in my online classes, And it felt like such a waste because then it was just like, I'm taking up space here.
Yeah.
And it felt really like
And it's so
depressing.
isolating.
It was very
Okay,
isolating because like,
dorms depressing. Even
Yeah.
without the pandemic, they're sad.
Yeah.
There's cockroaches. There
No AC.
gross ass. The AC breaks every like 2 seconds.
The mold.
Just
No,
the
the
elevator
mold.
break,
Oh
too.
my gosh.
I've never been
my
in
new
the
dorm.
You don't want to.
No, I just moved into my new dorm. I'm pretty sure there's black mold.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, well, you have to
That's
submit like a maintenance request for it,
Which never happened.
which never happens,
Never
first of all.
happens, yeah.
But I tried to, and it says that my account doesn't exist because I got an email change last year, and they still haven't updated their records.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's why I didn't get a
so
housing agreement
crazy.
originally. They forgot to send me a housing agreement. So I emailed them and I said, hey guys, I know I applied for housing. I haven't heard from you. And they're like, oh, we forgot that you changed emails.
Oh my god.
Here you go.
That's
And now I just have
so
black
bad.
mold in my dorm. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
There are
The
things
dorm
about
life.
Not worth.
moving on. There's too many things.
Yeah.
But we're talking about school and university. We all are involved with the esports program here on campus, and obviously we're specifically involved in the marginalized genders for esports and tech and gaming and stuff like that. So what I've observed over my time here is that there are not a lot of women in esports, and is the reason why I created this program, because women need, like, you know, it's not fun all the time to only be around men, TBH, or like male identifying people, and it's really nice, and I've been really grateful to have a community now that is majority marginalized genders, and that includes women, non-binary, kind of that umbrella. And so I essentially want to ask, there's very few women in gaming. We're starting to grow, but because there's so few women, like how did we get into gaming? Because I know that I got into gaming through my brother, and that was the main reason. I played games with him. I made friends with guys in school, and we would have, like, you know, we'd play Minecraft together and stuff like that. So I really wanted to know more about how you guys got into gaming, if there's a connection with how women get into gaming, like less often, or something. I don't know.
Okay. I would say my origins with gaming in general probably, I would say we're encouraged by my dad probably, because my earliest memories were like him playing Bejeweled on the family laptop.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's a name I have not heard
Yeah.
in a long time.
So-
oh boy.
There's that, and he would, I think he bought a Wii for me. That was my first like
I had a
gaming
Wii too.
device.
Yeah.
We gang.
go.
They were obscure games. I think I only just like found this out recently that one of the first games on the Wii that I played was probably Parappa the Rappa.
Oh my god.
But I didn't know it was. Like,
Isn't that the taxi one?
it's like the rhythm game.
Yeah.
The rhythm rapping game. And I remember the Kung Fu Onion guy, but not Parappa, like the main character. So like forever, like I didn't know what the game was called. I just remember the Kung Fu Onion guy. And
Okay, I have no context.
yeah,
That sounds
that's
whack.
it. That's
a cool picture.
somewhere in my subconscious. It will forever remain.
Amazing.
And
Love that for
then
you.
yeah, later on, I like wondered where my Wii went, and it's because my dad traded it in for a DS. So I was
telling
like,
you?
oh my god, like, he probably did,
Was
but
it
like,
yours or your dad's?
Oh, it's like a family thing.
Wii.
I think the Wii was like a family thing. The DS was probably just for me because he probably got
Oh, he got it for you.
yeah,
I
like
thought he
traded
got
in.
it just for himself.
I
And I was like,
My
that's
Nintendo.
so
that's kind of sad.
no, I think it was.
No more
and-
Wii for
No. But yeah, I did wonder, like, where did the Wii go? Like, so,
That's so funny.
yeah, it was a trade-in, but I did end up liking the DS regardless. I got into Pokemon for the first
Oh,
time, and
yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's a
still
DS
playing
thing.
Pokemon till this day. So that spawned from there. PC games,
Mm.
Flash games.
Mm.
Oh
That's
my god, yeah.
The origin
browser
of
games.
everything for sure. Like
Cool math
platformers,
games.
cool math games, Games XL, was like armor games.
Club Penguin.
No.
Rip.
So,
Rip.
I know you play a lot of League of Legends.
No, I watch a lot of League of Legends.
No!
I play ARAMs.
I know.
I play
Okay, ARAMs, same thing. I feel like everyone that values their mental health play ARAM instead of...
Or TFT.
No, true.
I'm
So
on the
how did
TFT
you get to that kind of side? Because I would say like the Riot kind of Valorant, League of Legends, Call of Duty kind of side is different than just the other types of games.
More FPS-y games.
The more FPS-y, like what we think of esports.
Like CSGO.
I go more to those games. So how did you get into that?
Yeah, so, man, it's like, it's a little hard to remember, like, League was already, like, super popular.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, it's old, but...
Hello?
Sorry. It's true.
It's weird.
It
It's
is.
like
yeah.
one of
But
the oldest,
hello?
like, still popular games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But
I mean,
Riot.
It wasn't until, like, a little later when I was in high school that, like, I even started to notice it, because as popular as it is, it kind of didn't break into my own bubble of media that I consumed, which was a little surprising, because I did, like, watch a lot of gaming, let's play videos, video game analysis videos, but, like, I guess the algorithm really didn't want me to see League. Maybe for my own good,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
So-
a lot
Really
of people would say that.
Yeah. And then, like, probably either because my friends were actually, like, super, like, played League every day type of people, that, like, I just caught wind of it. And probably, like, at the time, they also went a little heavier on the advertisements, like, trying to reach new gamers. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, oh, what is League of Legends? It's
Yeah.
like the
I've
champion
seen that.
champion.
Dude, gaming
remember that.
advertisements are a whole other thing, but they're really weird.
Yeah.
The ones nowadays are
Or
insane.
whack. I think the only normal ones I've seen are for like Valorant, and it's
Mm-hmm.
literally just an animation, and then they're like,
Yeah.
play Valorant, it's free, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how is this the game? It's like an anime.
Genshin, they just take streamers now, like reacting
yeah,
to things,
yeah.
and I'm like, this is the laziest
This is
advertisement
advertising.
I've ever
They
seen.
already know their demographic.
Oh,
They
yeah.
gotta branch out.
So
Dude, yeah.
they did manage to get their hands on me through those advertisements,
Except on
though.
you.
Yes, they did.
It worked.
Yeah.
All the money they pulled in.
Yeah, so that's how I first got acquainted with it. And then I played, like, a little bit. I was still, like, a chicken, so I didn't play, like, normal
Like
PvP
summoners,
games.
right?
I played
played
bots.
bots.
I played bots because I just wanted to look at the
I'm
3D
level 13
models.
on League.
Like,
I can't even play comp.
I just, yeah, like, I wanted to watch the characters do their little animation things, you know? So,
League has some of the best like designed characters,
oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
and the
art.
movements are so yeah. The art is beautiful.
So that was that. And that's why, like, to this day, I still don't play
That's
the
really
normal
interesting.
PvP game.
Yeah.
But what they do also do, though, is, like, on the home screen, they have, like, the events that they're doing, like, certain skins.
Right, because you said you
Yeah.
watch
that
a lot
they're
of League
doing.
now.
And sometimes they also have, like, whatever esport tournament is going on at the time on your home screen.
I swear
to advertise
LCS
it.
just goes on all year round.
I know.
Yeah.
It does.
When does it?
It has, like,
When does it stop?
It has, like, a...
Never.
And then they're like worlds, and I'm like, I thought they already had
Yeah.
worlds.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what?
LCS might have a longer break than the other regions because usually they get kicked out of Worlds pretty early.
Oof.
So their vacation period is a little longer because of that. So, but usually it is, like, throughout the year. So
Right.
you're bound to probably see it
You
at some
always
point.
have something
The
to watch.
qualifiers.
Yeah.
The whatever. Yeah.
What
And of
about
course-
you, Queen?
I mean, growing up, like, my brother was always into games.
Oh yeah, you have a brother. Brother
Yeah.
gang.
So he would always, like, in the living room, like, with the Wii.
Mm.
He's a jumper when he plays games. So he would
Oh,
in
that's really
front of
cool.
the TV, and, like, the living room is right next to the kitchen where my mom works, right? So he will just be jumping consistently while, like, waving the controllers around, you know, like playing Mario Kart or like Wii Tennis and like just like jumping and like he'll be playing like Lego Star Wars and he'll be like, go!
Lego Star Wars.
And he's shaking the whole house like he's 10 years old and he's just jumping like crazy.
Lego Star Wars?
I
It's
love
intense.
Lego Star Wars.
So good.
A banger.
I'm sorry. That
Yeah.
is the true, like, could solve
It's peak.
world peace.
Yeah.
That's a statement
But growing
I
up,
shouldn't
like-
have made. Anyway, go next.
Growing up, like, it wasn't that I wasn't allowed to play video games, it was that, like, it was his thing, and he always got to use the Wii.
Yeah.
He always, like, I got a
Little
DS,
jumper.
I got a DS XL and whatever, but
Oh, yeah.
I was always given, like, the girly games, like, the little,
Yeah.
like, pet things.
Or hand-me-downs.
Yeah, and, like, the, like, cooking mama things.
I
Like,
love
Because you're a
cooking.
woman.
I love
Because you're in the kitchen.
he always got the... he always got, like, the Lego stuff, and he got, like, Pokemon, and I was like, I don't want to play those, but, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just different, so, I think I fell out of love with video games because of that,
Yeah.
and then, you know, I would dabble throughout the years, like, when PewDiePie and Markiplier and
Yeah, that
Jacksepticeye,
whole,
'cause
like, wave.
I was really into YouTube,
Yep.
so I met, like, all those people.
That's
and-
crazy.
Yeah,
Actually,
I went
though.
to VidCon, and I just said, like,
You.
hey.
Wow.
What's up?
Wow.
Pictures.
Yeah,
Hey.
I went to VidCon when it was still like
Good.
cringe, but not like corporate cringe.
Yeah.
You know, like
Like the
because
Minecraft
when the-
video.
Yeah.
Who are the brothers that created
the Hank,
The Hank
or sorry,
brothers?
the Green brothers.
The Green-
John and
Hank brothers.
John and Hank Green
'Cause they
started
haven't sold it
VidCon.
Love
yet.
them.
Yeah, and then they sold it to a very wonderful person. that
Anyway,
I-
go next.
but they, you know, originally it just started as like a way for YouTubers to meet their community, and it was just that. It was just meet up and meet up and meet up. There was really nothing else to do.
I get
And so, like, I was still there when that was happening, just the meetups, and that was it. And throughout the years, every time I went, it slowly was just, like, more corporate.
Events and stuff.
So, like, Netflix had a whole thing, because that was, like, when Miranda Sings had her show. So they had a whole section about her. They had, like, Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, like
Anyway.
they had like a stage of like Minecraft and Smash tournaments, and I got to see like Captain Sparkles playing live. I got to
Dude,
see.
he's still doing Minecraft.
I know.
It's been like a decade.
Yeah.
And he's still, and
Stick
he's
to the brand.
jacked.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
he has,
YouTubers being hella jacked though,
and
like
he has
Markiplier.
all these sports cars, and he's like
He's
jacked,
always-
and
yeah.
he plays Minecraft every day.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I'm
he's
like,
been doing this for like 2 decades.
Steve
now,
build.
you know? Yeah.
whoa, my guy.
But yeah, so I think I got into like games again because of that.
That's awesome.
But like again, you know, it's really hard when your brother's just like he has the control over the TV for a certain amount of time. So it wasn't until COVID when we were just stuck in the same house 24/7 that I was like, I want to play Star Wars Battlefront 2. Give me the controller. And he was like, no, I want to play. And I'm like, I'm better than you at this game, so give it to me. And I think my parents were just sick of the bickering, so they got me an Xbox for COVID because they were like, we don't know how long we're going to be in quarantine. And
Yeah, it was
if
really,
you're into this and you want to
like
just
that.
play games together, be free, my children. So I got an Xbox, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I just started grinding Star Wars Battlefront, and then
and then
COD.
someone found Call of Duty.
Because I mean, that's when Warzone came out,
Right.
and everybody was playing it. Like all of my brother's high school buddies were playing it. So you know, when you're in lockdown and you've got nothing else to do, it's like, all right, texting the
Time
group
to-
chat, hop on Warzone, let's go, boys, and you just play COD all day, every day. So then, yeah, I asked if
My 9 to 5.
That was me.
Hop on.
During the pandemic, I played Minecraft on Apple Mac,
Yeah.
but not a
My
new
God.
Apple Mac, like an old Apple Mac. It was
Oh,
the like
no.
real chunky one, because my mom just gave it to me,
Yeah.
and that's how I got back into gaming.
That's amazing.
Imagine playing
And
Minecraft on
literally 9 to
Yeah.
5. I built some cool things though.
Mhm.
I have like a massive mansion that I
You
built, like
gotta fly us
sandstone
around
mansion.
sometime.
Live tour.
Spectator
Bus
mode.
tour.
My crib.
Dude, if I can, I hope the world saves somewhere.
On your chunky map.
On my no, because it was so weird. It was on my sorry, I completely
No, you
derailed
didn't.
it.
No.
It was on my like brother's ex-girlfriend's like what's it called? Land world? Like what's
Yeah,
what's-
yeah, the
Yeah,
realm.
yeah.
It was on her realm, so
Oh.
she still technically has it. So I'll have to ask her. They're on good terms.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
it.
Just get your
So I
world
have my
back.
property like available.
So it wasn't
You're just
your
leasing
realm,
it.
It was
I
somebody
spent
else's realm.
hours. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then someone became the COD cap coach, team leader.
Yeah, there you go.
Podcast
You got
coach.
it.
Yeah, who's recently retired.
Yeah, I retired
A
from
sad
COD.
day.
Yeah. It was coming though.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah.
for you, though.
it's hard.
Yeah, I think like, especially when you play with certain people like for so long and then
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
play with those people anymore, like you can't. I think it kind of loses its appeal,
Yeah.
you know. So I was just like, I'm busy. I don't even play COD anymore.
Yeah.
Rip. Yeah.
I
It's like
think
the
esports-
FPS fall
Yeah.
for every game. Yeah.
No, because it can be so like friend orientated, where you're
Mhm.
only getting introduced to games because of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly when they're gone, you're like, I don't really want to play this game anymore because
Yeah.
it's not the same, or you don't
Yeah.
like
My
you didn't.
homies.
Yeah.
I'm grinding this game till 1 a.m. for what?
That
Yeah.
yeah, that or this is more from other people's experience that I've heard from, but like something happens in the friend group outside of the game.
Oh my
And
god.
then
yeah.
when
The
you log
drama.
on,
Oh, yeah.
How do
you
you play it
see
again?
online like
Ugh.
maybe I'll not log on while they're
Yeah.
online and then
Hide the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah.
be like
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kelsey.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I
What
love
was the
I love cold talk.
question?
What was the question? Was well, how did you get into gaming, Queen?
I also have brothers. So, brother train.
You don't have.
I'm the
All
older
by
sibling.
yourself.
I'm the older sibling, so
You have younger
You had to
brother?
lead.
I have a younger sister and I was the device hogger.
Oh,
In that situation, I'm
That is valid.
Like
Is
if-
she into
Oh,
video games?
I know your
she
brother.
is.
You know my brother. My brother in esports.
I was like, I was about to
Oh my
ask, like,
God.
oh, is your brother older or young? And then I was like, oh, he like worked for this program at some point.
Yup. Is she into
Oh, yeah, she's a better gamer than I am.
Oh.
She's like plat in
That's so
Valorant.
infuriating.
Oh.
Couldn't be me though. I'm
Wait,
the
what
bad
rank?
one.
Plat. Val.
I'm unranked, so I could be
So
ascendant, and I could be bronze, and you'll never know. Well, a lot of people know what rank I am, but
No, it's okay. It's not official.
Yeah.
So you can be anything.
Don't worry about it.
what games did you play?
Oh god. We grew up with a lot of games. So I actually
The Wii.
we didn't have any like device hoggy things. Well, kind of. But like a
Oh,
lot
you
of times we
took
played
that back
together.
real quick.
Well,
That's
because we had a
nice, though.
PC, so we could like kind of device hog
Mm.
that. But then we'd
Yeah.
play on like we had a GameCube
Ooh.
and a Wii.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember which was which. But anyway, so we played Smash a lot. That was like my
Oh,
first
Yeah.
one of my first games. Maple Story was one of my first
Ooh.
PC
Never
games.
played that.
Hey,
I do want to though.
my MMO heart. Speaking of, I'm playing Palia right now. You guys should play Palia.
No, I'm down. I need more games.
Yeah,
Cause I don't play FPSs anymore.
I don't either.
I'm
I
sorry.
fell off so hard
went
for
through-
FPS.
Yeah, I
It
went through
hurt.
a time where I like really played a lot of Valorant.
Too much Valorant.
Too
maybe.
much Valorant, maybe. And I definitely have on the down low a toxic persona in gaming.
No, it's not on the down low.
No.
It's not on the down low.
I especially alone, because I'm the girl that like likes playing competitive games alone. Because when I play with friends, I always do worse, and then I get mad,
It'd
like
be
at
that.
myself. But then playing alone in comp, you get mad at other people, at least a little bit sometimes. And for me, it was not healthy.
Mhm.
And I think I acknowledged that it wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing Valorant because it stopped being fun also. When
Yeah.
you take it too seriously and it gets too toxic and stuff like that, it's kind of
It's rough.
So I switched to playing like mostly indie games and just like chill.
I'm on that train right now.
It's so
'cause
much nice.
Oh
my
my
life
God.
is so peaceful.
It's so
And
much
I still
nicer.
have like I love I'm watching VCT right now, and I'm like now getting into LCS and all the league stuff, and especially because of my job, I'm constantly having to like get used to other games, and like even if I don't like a game, I need to know what it's about. Otherwise, how am I meant to like help people in the program or, you know, help support them? So I have to. There's a fly.
Under the table now.
The gecko can get it. So I have to like understand games, but that's kind of the extent of my journey. What game? So you play? What do you play now?
Well, Palia was the current
Palia.
one. It's an MMO.
I want to look
It's
it
a
up.
cozy MMO. That's what it's sold as.
I played so much Stardew Valley. Sorry, that just came
It's
into my head.
basically that. So you're just gonna be. It's like Animal Crossing where you mine and get
Oh my God.
materials, and then you flirt with villagers all day.
Wow.
So perfect.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. But so I grew up on Smash with my brothers. We're a Tar Hero. Both of those for some reason.
Wait, what's your main in Smash?
Kirby.
Down B.
Yeah. And suck people and jump off
Yeah,
them.
It's so good.
Yeah, so the disgusting
vibes,
Kirby
good
main,
vibes.
do it. But then I got onto the League train. I think, it was like Minecraft, obviously, but then League in high school. I think I got into it because of Lily Pichu.
Oh, valid.
Yeah, or something like that. Choose my vibe. So I was like a Soraka main for the longest time. Now I'm a Lux main because that's easy and I can stun people.
Yeah.
And then I stopped playing because I got toxic in that game. It was so bad. Yeah. And then I went into Overwatch competitively for a while. Not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Overwatch is so much worse.
It's so
It's
sad.
amazing how toxic people can get.
Yeah, it's because all the community is just mad. No,
Yeah.
the community is
Yeah.
so sad and mad and depressed and stuck in their houses.
Yeah.
And we had a PvE that we had to pay for, which should have just been part of it, you know, and the 6 heroes that were supposed to. Anyway. So, yeah.
There's so much drama.
I know, but after doing like back-to-back competitive games, I fell off of it so hard.
Right.
So the cozy train is my train. I'll still play like I'm trying the PvE for Overwatch. It's cute. And you know, occasionally some Valorant nights.
No, me too.
Maybe some TFT.
No. But yeah, I think it's nice to play casually. But I do like competitive aspects. I think we just need to do more work in esports to support a healthier competitive environment.
I know.
Because how awful people can be on a mic over a screen instead of in person is crazy. And
It is.
I hands down know that everyone, especially every like woman or marginalized gender, has experienced a really toxic person towards them specifically because of their gender or what they identify as. And I
Just
think
crazy.
that's gross. But even guys like still experience this like insane amount of toxicity, and it's so normal, and I don't like it because there's so much potential for esports, and that's why I hope that we can like what's happening, girl? I knew.
I just died on some jelly. It's okay. Just blur my face out for a second.
Just like a K-pop idol and just like
Don't worry.
yeah.
You know, what I was saying wasn't important. I'm like, it's so important to do this positive thing. Kelsey's like, nah. Toxicity.
Yeah. Well, when my brother was doing his research over the summer about esports, because he was comparing his school to our school. And a lot of the responses he got from WoUHE were talking about the focus on community and how important that is to us here. Meanwhile, the responses from his school were more competitively focused.
Right. I want to win.
Yeah. They didn't, a lot of them were like, wait, we have a community? And it was like, that's kind of where you get your players. And, like, that's still important.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it. You want to, you're a school, right? You're a school program. You have to focus on competition. Like, that's how you make your money. That's how you get recognition. And that's perfectly fine. You have people that want to play competitively. I think focusing on making a stable and healthy community as well that can rely on each other to like avoid those toxic environments is really important, because not everybody wants to play competitively, but they want to play games with friends.
Yeah, like we do this because we have an enjoyment of games, and it doesn't matter if it's an FPS or if it's a cozy game, if it's like literally a card game, it's all the same. We enjoy playing games, and I think remembering why we're doing this, why, you know, you make friends, like all of us have made friends, like a lot of friends in just games, and just having this thing that you're connected with someone, and it's really cool that that can happen, but to only drive for winning, I think, can lead to really negative consequences. Even if you, because if you're not friends with the people on your team, or you don't have people supporting you, then winning kind of doesn't mean that much anymore. Because even when our teams went to LAN in Boise, we're all like cheering them on. They got out very quickly. And I was like which, who cares? Because I was like, dude, they made it there. And we got to see them play. And like, everyone's cheering them on. And even our Valorant team that wasn't directly associated with our program at the time, everyone's still cheering them on. And it's just nice to say, oh, I have friends on that team. And I'm like, you know, they're all immortal in Valorant, and I'm unranked. And I love those guys. And I know a lot of other people look up to them because they're very friendly. They engage in the community. Everyone talks to each other. And I think that's something really positive that we can build on more and support more. Because obviously I want to win, and I want my teams to win, but I also want them to get a job. And I want them to get good life experience and to learn how to like promote positive attitudes, healthy vibes, all that good stuff.
Well, and even if you just don't want to do any of that, if you just want community, if that's all you're looking for, then UHE can give that, you know? Like, I think by having the iLab that's in the center of campus and open to the public, it helps.
When's it opening?
August 30th. We are opening the iLab officially on August 30th.
Come to our campus.
Yay!
University of Hawaii in Manoa. Building 37.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, we had a housing event here the other night. We had 100 people in the building at one point. That was scary. We had
like not
That's like
even
that. Is that max capacity?
yeah, that's max capacity.
No,
It's 123 or something.
123.
Yeah.
But that's
We're off by
including the
23.
small rooms.
Yeah. I mean, it was packed. I mean, everybody was sitting around the couches. They had taken up all the chairs.
That's so cool, though.
They were just lined up around here. I mean, everybody was watching on the PCs. I mean, originally the plan was we were going to do an hour on the PCs, which is already really short. Like, you cannot play a Valorant
you can play
unrated.
one game.
Yeah, you can play like a Swift
Not
play or
overtime.
something. Yeah. They had to, we realized because our wait list for the computers was like 40 people long, we were like, okay, 45 minutes. And then it kept growing and we were like, 30 minutes. And then it was just suddenly like, we don't know, like...
You get 10 minutes on the PC.
Yeah, it was basically like you get to open it, go on your Discord, and then...
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
Next person, come on.
Yeah, it was really crazy, but the amount of new faces that were in here going, I didn't know this place existed. When are you open? When can I come back? I want to, like,
so
meet more
cool.
people here. I want to hang out.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of people were asking about tryouts and the teams, because, like, your community is where
Try
you
out
start.
for our
and
teams.
yeah, like, community is where you get your players.
Sorry. my timer is a duck timer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I want to end this with, we have a lot to talk about, obviously, and I don't think 45 minutes is enough, ever, even though for like a few times in a row. So we are going to do more podcasts, and I'm just really happy that I have you guys, because even I was saying in our meeting last night, it's just, you weren't there. It's just...
I gotta drop the call out.
It's just so nice to have cool people, and everyone on my team are the coolest. I love you guys, and even in our esports space, it's been super cool. And I think the last thing I want to bring up is, I think we forget what esports and what gaming can really look like, what it's really about, until we see people in a space and physically see them, because it's so remote. We're always online, and especially because I was really lucky to be able to go to the Valorant Masters in Tokyo, and being able to walk into that space of 20,000 people all watching this tournament just made me feel like I just had this whole moment of, this is why I do this. This is why I love this. And this is so cool. And I felt like such a nerd. But I was like freaking out. And our friend Alec was like with me, and he was like, why are you like this? And I was like, look at the lights. Having a whole And it was just such a cool thing to experience. So I hope I can go to more live events, and we can go as teams to more live events. Because you really go, oh, these are all people that exist and do the thing that we do. So yeah, I hope we'll have more podcasts in the future. We can talk about more stuff. We'll have different people on sometimes. Hopefully we're going to have more guests from other universities, and then have my girls on pretty frequently. So stay tuned for that. We have tryouts coming. Well, tryouts are already out. So if you're interested in trying out for any of our teams, check out the link in the bio. I will link social medias for the 4 of us and our Discord. And if you're interested in joining our program for marginalized genders, the Discord will also be in the bio. I'm tired.
Good job.
We're busy. Welcome back to school. Okay. Yeah.
Yay!
Goodbye.